Hey, call me Shape, and today we're reacting to a video titled What I Learned After Approaching 500 Girls. Let's get right into it.
Welcome back, guys. In the last 3 months, I've cold approached 500 girls, all during the daytime in wholesome settings such as city squares, outside coffee shops, and I made a note of every single approach I did on my phone. I went on 12 dates from it, and I'm now consistently seeing one of the girls who could go on to be my girlfriend. In this video, I'm going to explain 5 things I learned from these 500 approaches, but before continuing, I want to say I didn't do this to mess anyone around. I was absolutely serious about finding a relationship and love because I have desires of fathering a family one day in future. I took every date I went on with the intentions of looking for something serious, but now I feel I have lessons to share with you, so if you want to learn and avoid the mistakes I made, keep watching. And one more thing, I'm going to show you the only ever approach I filmed just so you can see an idea of how I did them. Hey, excuse me. 2 seconds. Yeah, and then I'll let you go on with the rest of your day. Can I be really honest with you?
Yeah.
Right, I know you just walked straight past me, but I did think you were quite attractive. And,
I'm flattered. I also thought you're not really familiar. I feel like we've
Really?
matched on something.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I downloaded Hinge 2 days ago, so
Maybe.
potentially. Yeah, and I wasn't going to say anything, but I don't know. And I've also noticed you're wearing some perfume, and I'm like, no girl who's in a relationship goes around wearing this kind of perfume.
Do you think?
So,
Oh, I didn't know that. That was
so
amazing.
would I be correct?
You are correct.
A single girly at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your name, by the way? Nice, I'm Sam. Love to meet you. It
Definitely.
does ring a bell. No, I do
definitely
remember
have.
now.
That's so funny.
Yeah, no, that definitely does ring a bell. Yeah, you must have
funny.
matched with me or something.
Wow.
Hinge, right?
On your 2 days, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool. Yeah. So
It was so
interesting
funny.
to meet in person.
I
Then.
know.
Good to get off the
This
apps
is
and actually
funny.
talk to somebody in
Yeah.
real life. Yeah. So, what are you up to today? So after a few more minutes, I eventually got that girl's number and arranged a date. Basically, all of my approaches followed this formula. And even though I messed up the opening script with stutters and forgetting what I was supposed to say, it didn't make a difference. You can see her choosing signals were A tier or S tier from the way she was laughing and giving enthusiasm. However, unfortunately, she later flaked because she saw me on a date with someone else. That was unlucky, but so much for pre-selection being true. Anyways, now getting into the 5 things I learned from approaching 500 girls. Number 1. Looks are the most important thing that matters. I know a lot of you would have seen this one coming, but I can't deny from experience, this had to be the first one. It was just so obvious. I'm talking about face, I'm talking about height, age, hairline, race. If you try doing this as some ugly dude or a dude way older than the girls, then you are literally wasting your time and will end up destroying your self-esteem in the process. You will receive instant blowouts. Scared and apprehensive body language, it will be obvious you shouldn't be doing it. As an average guy, the majority of the time I could tell within 10 seconds after I said my opener whether a girl was interested or not. I'm no Chad, but I'm not ugly either. But
Alright, let me stop him right there. So, here's the thing. If you're going to approach a girl, make sure that you're approaching her organically in such a way where you're using the environment to break the ice. Don't go up with a pickup line, all that kind of stuff. That's for game geeks, okay? This dude, oh, I'm not ugly. I'm an average guy, but I'm not ugly. He's not that confident, okay? And Wheat Waffles, he's a black pillar, so he believes in that looks are everything. And there's truth to that, but the reality of it is you still need to rely on your personality, too. There's good-looking dudes that get rejected all the time as well. But I think he has a low conversion rate. 500 girls to only go on 12 dates? Damn. That's very low. You know, he honestly should have went on way more dates than that, in my opinion.
interested, or just being polite, or not interested at all by her body language within the first 10 seconds. For this to work as a guy, you pretty much need to be approaching girls the same age as you, the same phenotype or ethnicity, and from a similar wealth/affluence level. The expected value from approaching girls who fall outside of these boundaries is very close to 0. Number 2, what you say doesn't really matter. I found that cold approach was pretty much a massive numbers game. On average, I needed to do 5 approaches to get 1 number, and 10 numbers to get 1 date. It more or less became a game of me saying my opener, listening to her for a little bit, and asking boring questions like where she's from and what she's doing with her life at the moment. And then, if the choosing signals were A tier or S tier, I'd be able to get her number and hopefully get her out on a date. For all the girls that gave B tier or below choosing signals, and I got so many of these girls' numbers, not a single one converted to a date. What this means is, in order to get a date as a man from cold approach, it's not good enough just to get a girl's number. If her choosing signals are B tier or below, there is a 99% chance she will flake. It is literally a game of going up to as many girls as possible and just waiting for the A or S tier signals as a man. These are the only girls you'll be able to get on dates, when they are already giving you A or S tier choosing signals. 3. This is the most important one. Women will categorize you in one of 3 tiers. These tiers are: 1. I'm happy you've approached and want to get to know you. 2. I'm happy you've approached, but I'm not happy to get to know you. 3. I'm unhappy you've approached, I don't want to know you, and you should not be doing this. Now, these tiers can pretty much be boiled down to the 3 Fs. F'er, friend, and F off. If you are an attractive guy, a 7 or 8 out of 10, you will often get categorized in the first tier. Women will be very positive you've approached. They will give their number enthusiastically and be happy to go on a date to try to get to know you. I only receive this treatment 2% of the time. Maybe if I was the girl's type, or if she's never been approached before, so she's experienced a high dopamine interaction. As for the second tier, if you are an average guy, in my looks level or in and around, you'll likely be placed as tier 2. Women will be happy you've approached and say things like, "You've made my day. You should do this more often. You can message me." But 9 times out of 10, they are only happy you've approached and not happy to get to know you. I will say that again. 9 times out of 10, they're only happy you've approached, but not happy to get to know you.
So, all right. He's approaching girls, but he's cold approaching. He's just going up to random girls, any girl he finds, 500 of them. And the reason why that's a bad choice is because you're not even selecting for girls that would possibly be interested in you. If you're going to approach anybody, warm approach girls. Approach girls that have a high chance of liking you while they're there, like you said. He said if they're like close into like looks, where a girl that you think you have a chance of bagging, or a girl that's kind of giving you some choosing signals, if you will. And the best place to do that is environments that you naturally hang out, or a place that you would, you have interest in. Like, go places that you enjoy doing stuff, whether that be the gym, music scene, different events and gatherings. Those are the places to approach girls. To approach a random girl and 500 of them, of course you're going to fail. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never do this. I would never recommend this. It's a numbers game, because a portion of those girls that he's, going up to might find him attractive. But it would be a better numbers game if he chose girls that kind of was already in his vicinity, already kind of doing something that he would be doing, something more tailored to his lifestyle already. That to me would be a way better approach. And 2, guys, there's a lot of people like Wheat Waffles, and shout out to him. I think he's a great content creator, but he's just, he can't help it. He's a nerd. He looks at it like, girl's a mathematical problem. I'm going to solve this. Like, it's not that. There are skills and techniques for dating, but at the end of the day, you want to be natural. You want to be fluid, and you want to rely on just being friendly and cool, honestly. You don't want to rely on pickup lines and strategies and like, every time I hear people say this, it's like, no wonder you're losing. When I matched with over 400 girls on Hinge, and that turned into, I don't know, God knows how many dates. I went on a lot of dates, but I end up hooking up with, let's say, 10 girls or so, or whatever. Or even more. I don't know. Let's say 10 to 15 girls. Majority of the girls that I hooked up with, I would say about, like, if I got a girl's number, it was like a 50-50 chance if I'd first meet up with them and hook up with them. It was like pretty much if I got the number, I was almost like guaranteed I was going to have success. But the key thing was that I wasn't just asking every girl for her number. I was having a conversation. If the conversation progressed, ask for a number. If the conversation stopped for whatever reason, I would just dead it. He seems like he's just going after everybody blindly, no matter who. He has a whole plan set up. He's going to ask for the number, and that's absolutely not the way to do it. You know, you should be disqualifying girls too.
Half of the girls you get numbers from won't even respond to your first message. A big chunk of the others will fall off several hours or a day later. Why do girls do this? It's because you are a tier 2 man. They only want to know guys they deem to be tier 1. Basically, if you are tier 2, then you are attractive enough that the girl thinks, wow, this okay looking guy has came up to me, overcome fear and psyched himself up just to compliment me and ask for my number. He did this to me and not any of the other girls in the vicinity. Therefore, it must mean I am very, 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 very attractive. She's happy you've complimented her, which gives her proof of her beauty, but you are not attractive enough for her to want to know you. Lastly, as for the poor guys in tier 3, if you are here, the girls are both unhappy to get to know you and unhappy you've even approached them. This is when the girl thinks you are so unattractive as a guy that she is offended or frightened you've came up to her. You will receive instant blowouts. The reason this happens is because she thinks, did this guy honestly believe he had a chance with me? He should know his place and go for girls who are on his level. Either that, or she thinks nefariously as a result of the horn effect, which is the opposite of the halo effect, that because you are ugly, you might be dangerous or threatening. In other words, if you are unwanted male attention, then she will perceive your approach as harassment or predatory. Those are the 3 tiers of men. Learn and gauge where you get placed. Number 4. Most women who are single for a reason. On average, 40% of the girls I approach gave the rejection, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend. Whether they were telling the truth or not, I can only assume they were. However, what I noticed is the girls that claimed they were in a relationship were, on average, way more receptive and polite about me approaching them. It felt as if they would have otherwise accepted me if they weren't currently with someone. They would say things like, that was so nice of you to say anyway. You should do it more often and eventually you'll find someone. It's such a big city and there's so many girls that would be interested. As for the single girls, on average, they would be significantly more dry, would require more enthusiasm to get them on the same level, but even then would show their disinterest later in the interaction.
Here's the thing. Some girls are going to reject you by telling the truth. Some girls are just going to lie. I got a boyfriend. This is what women do, okay? The ones that are being kind to you, oh, keep trying, it's going to work out for you. She probably doesn't have a boyfriend. She's probably just saying that to you because she don't want to break your heart. She knows you're a loser. You know what I'm saying? You out here approaching a girl that showed no interest to you whatsoever. So she knows socially you're not connected. You know what I'm saying? You're just out and about in the world trying to find a place. I didn't think about it like this. What people like him don't realize is how tricky women are, how clever they are, how sneaky women are. They haven't realized that just yet. That here's the thing, right? A girl could have a boyfriend and tell you she doesn't have a boyfriend, and still try to give you her number, even hook up with you while she has a boyfriend. She might make you her side dude. She might replace her boyfriend with you. All type of stuff. Okay? People cheat. So just, oh, she's not available. She's blah, blah. I'm not saying that every girl that has a boyfriend is going to do this, but I'm just trying to say that's a type of person too. You got to account for that as well. And, you know, I think men like this, you know, and listen, I understand that some people watching this video might be in the same shoes as him, right? You're really smart, you're educated, you look at dating as some kind of science experiment, and you're just trying to figure it out and crack the code, and you're going to watch all the red pill videos, and I get it. But the truth of the matter is that the reason why you're in this position is because you did exactly that. You look at dating in that exact way. My honest advice to any man that wants to get a girl is learn how to have fun with women. Joke with them. Don't take everything so serious. Literally. I'm going on a date tonight with a girl. First date. We met off Hinge. We're going to go on our first date. She invited me out to an art event. Cool. Let's do it. I was like, yo, what's the dress code? She was like, it's a cafe. You can wear whatever you want. I'm sure you're going to look handsome regardless, right? I could have took that. I could have responded and said, oh, thank you. I am going to look handsome. Instead, I said, I'm going to look homeless just to disappoint you, right? And then she laughed. And it was like a little quick joke, you know what I'm saying? But the point of me saying that I'm going to look homeless just to disappoint you was to play. Women are like children. They like to play. Men, we're way too serious. We're caught up in, well, what am I going to say? Does she have a boyfriend? Does she not have a boyfriend? We're too caught up into that. It doesn't matter. Have a good time. Learn to have fun. In our world as men, we got everything serious. It's about stats, numbers, position, hierarchy. When it comes to women, things are a lot more fluid, a lot more fun, a lot more relaxed. That's why a lot of girls like funny guys, because funny guys don't take life serious. They're cavalier. They're about having a good time. They're not about, oh, you're going to be my girlfriend, and we're going to spend all our life together, and we're going to have kids. No, that's not fun, right? That kind of, type A personality, super organized, OCD, I'm going to make you my girlfriend, I'm going to introduce you to my parents. Like, that's not fun. Be spontaneous, try to have fun with girls. That's my best advice, because I've watched a lot of these videos. I've listened to the dating coaches. When I had a girl that broke up with me, I was kind of trying to figure out, like, what did I do wrong and that kind of stuff. And so I went down the rabbit hole of the red pill and pickup artists and all that stuff. And the best advice I found was just, like, have fun. Joke, play around, smack ass, pinch cheeks. Like, don't do corny stuff like farting on girls, or like, another thing that people do that I don't recommend, making fun of them in such a way where you're like being mean, like you're making fun of the way they look or what they're wearing. Don't do this shit like that. Men, we can do that to each other. You can't make fun of a girl in that way, but you could joke and play with her. Like I said, I told the girl, I'm going to look homeless. It's a joke. It's funny. It's silly. Ha ha ha. When I get there, I was like, look, I'm going to dress nice, but I'm like, look, I rolled out of bed in this, like, I'm just going to, I don't know what I'm going to say. And that's why I'm kind of just throwing things at you guys. But the whole point is I'm going to go there and have fun. I'm not going to be serious. What he's doing is he's taking dating way too serious, and he's making it corny and boring. Women like excitement. They like plot twists, weird things. Like it's not about the predictable and the. That's why when guys text a girl in the morning, good morning. It's so predictable. That's why the whole asshole thing is an asshole is unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I hope that helps. I watched this video and I thought to myself, so many men could be so much better off if they just lightened up a little bit. All right, so I'm going to put his link to his channel in the bio. Finally, he started showing his face, so shout out to you, Wheat Waffles, for finally showing your face. It used to be a faceless channel. A link to this video in the description as well. And check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you guys over there.